about to witness. Hold on. The awesome, crushing might of the Robinson Show. Stomper! Welcome, my friends, to a show that seemingly never ends. This is urgent, afraid, 6, 5, yes, complete with the ass and knuckles. No monkey with a wrench. No problems today. No getting booted off of anything. So we got a lot to talk about. I sent out the Substack piece on there for some of you to read it, but you'll get the general idea. It's a dark week to fight. It's always a dark week to fight. In any case, let's let Bob Wiley sit us in like we have every single week since 2007. Oh, what? It's Stigmata. The calling of the just. The song is called Intro All of Nothing. Still available from Revelation Records in Huntington Beach, California, where they shoot you to get to the nightclub. They get you all in a hammer. And they run your mayor for a time out of town to open for some kind of restaurant in Central Florida that will never be found. Listen well.
I'm on my way back nowhere. I took my time.
But I could not see so clear.
Now I'm taking
Real good look at you. I'm taking a real good look at your face.
I'm on my way back to damn bar.
So beer payback is always nothing. Yeah, welcome, my friends. Those of us who stuck through the torment and the tragedy of last week's show will be glad to see that we're back to normal. Apparently, I didn't know what the problem was. And, you know, it was like a really passive-aggressive kind of corporate way of addressing things. You just sent me an illustration of a smiling monkey with a monkey wrench. So, oops, looks like there's trouble. Well, doesn't seem to be any trouble for me. So I just ignored it. Apparently, this was caused because one of the images that June had chosen to use was an image of open heart surgery. It was from the week where I was talking about my leg. And they registered that as violent imagery. So they warned, and apparently I was ignoring the warnings, and then they just decided to really get your attention by making streaming from their platform impossible. Which, it wasn't really a chimp chill out, because the chimp was, chimp chill out is like somehow tied into Misty as fucking Lost Battalion, because what the chimp essentially does is make believe you're not there. And if you make believe something long enough, then it becomes almost true, sort of in a way. And go to any zoo, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Like, they've had it. Can you imagine if they had tours through American prisons like they had through zoos? Nah, these are subhuman primates. They're not digging on it. So, also known as the Hollywood fade, however, but that's when there's a professional interest in it. So that's what they did. And then everybody, every time you turn to look, everybody will say stuff to you like, well, what you need to do is, hey. What I need to do is a show. I talk, the show start, I stop talking at the show end. Whatever need everybody else needs to do, not me. So YouTube wants to make believe like it's not my business, like it always is my, no, it's not my business. It's not my business. You want to throw me off for some bullshit thing? Up to you. I'm not fighting it. Much like Seneca. Oh, Mr. Robinson, who's Seneca? Is that the company that makes the applesauce? No, Seneca is an ancient philosopher who was accused by Nero of being the fucking criminal And he says, well, you got to go. And Seneca was, what the hell was he? He was stoic. He's like, all right. Some woman said that to me once we were breaking up. She was like, you're such a fighter with your Muay Thai, your MMA, and now I'm trying to, but you wouldn't fight for a relationship. I was like, what? Why would I do that? I said, look, I've seen a sandwich bag of shit, and I've seen what I have to offer in a relationship, and it seems to me that these are fundamentally very different things. But if you feel like it's a sandwich bag of shit, you're making 100% the right decision. He said, well, she dumped me 3 times. And if I had been paying attention, I would have understood what was going on. Because you want to cut to the front of the line? I'll tell you how to cut to the front of the line. Find out what people like to watch. And the fact that there was like a steady stream of romantic comedies, like that she was like, that was like a bread and butter, should have let me know at that part. I should have gone all Hugh Grant and got cute, or John Cusack and got cute. They tried to, the first 2 times I was like, all right, well, this is ridiculous. This isn't bull. And the third time I was like, you know what? I can't. Sandwich bag of shit. No. So that's what my attitude is. But June got in there and fixed it somehow. I don't know what she did. She tried to tell me what she did. I wasn't listening. I don't have a head for it. Don't want to have a head for it. Like in this instance, a good man knows his limitations. I love all you guys who are sending me stuff like, oh, you got to do this and you got to do that. And you got to, oh yeah, good for you. Fucks like only you're here. Got to do this. You got to do that. You know what? And I can see the comments here. I don't have to go to another page to see it, which is nice. But I'm out. So in any case, we're at the end of the month. Shockingly, at the end of the month, I'm walking better than usual. Still doing the shows from the bed because all my furniture is gone. Like all of this stuff here, that's all staging. It's not my lamp. It's not my plant. It's not my painting. It's all staging. So it's, I think I would do it from out on the deck. It was a nicer hang, but I don't want the neighbors to be here. And, who knows what I'm going to say on this show, right? Who knows what I'm going to say? So 365, this is the version 365. We're at the end of the month, which means in about 6 days, I'm going to have to write some checks. And if I got to write checks, you're going to have to hear me complain about I got to write checks. So if you want to donate, you got Venmo, you got PayPal, you got Zelle, you got cash in an envelope, you got Cash App, you got many ways, or you got Substack. Or how about this? No money at all, just subscribe. How about that? It makes it easier all around. That way, because who was trying to screw me this morning? Of course, Twitter was trying to screw me this morning, where they arbitrarily just throw you out. You have to log back in. And of course, you never remember your passwords. And it's a chance for them to upsell you on all these different features going in. And then I'm going in, they're giving me a new name and password. I'm convinced it's because my Twitter feed has been so full of anti-Musk stuff that they just were like, you know what, fuck this guy. We're starting from zero again. Nah. I went through the effort and got back to the old Twitter, which is how some of you who were notified via Twitter about the show. And forget it. It's not X for me, always Twitter. We're known. So right now, all the tech problems are out of the way. We've done the commercials for the show. And you'll be happy to learn that I shit-canned that crazy micro cement thing for the house. I don't know if in my pilled state, if I talked about that last week, but the developer was insistent on trying to charge me 17,000 euros for something or other that he was calling micro cement. And I was like, I'm not paying it. I don't, well, you got to, and finally the woman who's working on the interior of the house says, I got a paint that does the same thing for $200. I was like, yeah, that. And so she told him that, and I haven't heard from him since. It's like, yeah, I guess if you thought you were just about to make a 17,500 euro payday, and I come back with $200, doesn't feel very fair. There are other options. Well, Mr. Robinson, what are the other options? Well, I could make you some offers that you couldn't refuse. Like what, Mr. Robinson? Look at the picture very carefully. You tell me. Yeah, you got it. fuck around because I don't think that it's funny when you're playing with the money. So anyway, so here we are, May 25th. And since there are no fights to speak of, I know I led off with MMA adjacency, but I don't want to, that's not the way the show is structured. The show is structured in this way. I'm going to talk about what gave birth to the Substack, and then we'll get around to MMA. Well, if you read the Substack, you know. And listen, let me explain something to you. I came into punk rock as an outsider. 17-year-old, read about this stuff in the paper. My stepfather bought me, if you read the memoir, you know, brought me home Eddie and the Hot Rods record, Teenage Depression, because it had on the cover, teenager with a gun to his head, and I was a depressive teen. He thought it would be funny. I got into the music, started paying attention, started going to shows at CB's. And somebody asked me, a latter-day punk, like a 90s punk, was asking me about community. I said, you don't understand, we were all so alienated that the community, well, community what? You're talking about community. I don't know nothing about no community. We were just, you know, to get on the subway from Brooklyn in punk rock finery and make it down to the Bowery. You know, there were a whole lot of other issues. If they listen to Biohazard's song, 5 blocks to the subway, it's only 5 blocks away, 5 blocks to the subway. I could make that any day, maybe. So there were a whole lot of other things going on. I would go stand, dig on the music. People talk to me? No. Did I need people to talk to me? No. So all of the social skills that later developed by 90s punks that led them to do things like start Gilman Street and do this and do that, I never had those skills. All right. So when I finally got in a band in 82 or 81, I was in a band at 80, but that was just like a new wave band. 81 when I started Whipping Boy. So 81, when I started Whipping Boy, I was like, okay, I got you. And I became a politician because you never knew. In other words, there was an extended period of a decade of sucking up, right? Because you never know who could help you. Well, KPFA was a good radio station. It would be great to have your record played there. Just hung out at KPFA, hang out with Tim Yohannan till they started playing our record. Tim started liking us enough, put us on the Not So Quiet in the Western Front compilation. That's why we got Klaus Fluoride and Tom Mallon, later from Chris Isaac's band and American Music Club, to produce the first record and the cut on Not So Quiet. Then started to work with Klaus Fluoride, Darren Peligro, hanging out with Biafra. And it all, you know, became friends with Ian MacKay, got him to book some shows for us on some tour. It all became, and I saw a band Shit Can through bad word of mouth. I love that band Void. I didn't have a punk haircut here. I just had normal hair because I was also going to discos. So I had a small afro, but I used to dress like Travis Bickle. And then in 1980, I stopped combing my hair. I just got, you know, I was like, hey, man, whatever, bro. I think it was, let me get this straight. I think it was maybe December of 1980. I said, fuck it, what difference does it make? It makes not a bit of difference. My fortunes in life have nothing to do with what's on my head. So I stopped combing my hair in 1980. And people would stare, and finally I asked some guy, what was you? He goes, every black guy I met before I met you had very carefully coiffed hair. They wouldn't even let you touch it. And he said, but you, I couldn't figure out what was going through your head. Who said that? Whipping Boy co-founder Steve Ballinger, guitar player and lifelong friend of mine. So that's when he just saw me in the weight room when he had no idea. He was just a jock as far as I was concerned, who played guitar, didn't know, and I was just some guy who was lifting heavy weight and he didn't know, dressed like a bum. The ball was bumping around trying to put together some boxing thing and getting removed and trying now to deal with all this oil chic money. You did it to yourself. You did it to yourself. And I feel no obligation to be nice about it. So there you go. Version 365 of the Eugene S. Robinson Show Stomper. Yes, my eyes are open. It doesn't look like it, but they are. Tuesday, we have If the Shoes Fit. Wednesday, I think we record the true and false section of the Bad Boss Brief is out there. We're going to do, perfect timing. We're going to do the countdown to Stephanie Perolo's got her book out, The Saint and the Drunk. And it comes out soon. So, and then I already did my article for Decibel, so I'm in the clear. So it'll be an easy week. I got, I would say rehab, PT, leg is getting stronger, getting better. And that's it. Yeah, I saw that he paid, but listen, you know what they say? The Baldwin paid Cain Velasquez $1 million, but you do realize when somebody's got $1 million bail, that they don't give you $1 million. When your bail is $1 million, typically the amount of cash you have to deliver is like something like a percentage, like 100,000. So, he didn't do any great favors, but he had to, because of DC and because of Javier and the winning his team in MMA has been American top team, so whatever. Or no, oh my God, what's the name of Javier's place? AKA, sorry, woo, place I'm trained. When my oldest daughter took her first steps, AKA, how could I forget that? And in fact, Javier was the one who was most annoyed and got Brian the Fury Johnston, got his Irish up over the article I wrote for GQ, the Sean Penn one, because he told the guy who later sued me, whose name I will never mention on the show, because Eugene can't write. He's a writer. I think you wrote that. And I think, and now of course Javier has figured out that I am actually, in actual fact, a writer. I haven't forgotten that though. But he's mellowed and we've become friendly. I mean, I met Javier in life. We used to take Muay Thai together as students. I didn't write liner notes for Perolo's new book, but thanks for reminding me. After I finish this, I need to write a blurb for her book, and that is important. I've been slacking on that, mostly because I want to read it and then I can't find it because everything is packed away. So anyway, that's the end of the show. Thanks for listening. Nobody has asked for me to keep it up after, so I'm assuming you've all subscribed or have all watched it in time, and I don't need to leave it. I'm going to set to private as soon as I get out. Thanks for listening. I thank you. The little under the weather Cora thanks you. You wave goodbye, kid. Yeah, and then we'll end it. For how long? Mr. Edge, how long do you need it left up? An hour? Oh, you just got to it. All right, I'll leave it up an hour then. You can subscribe and you can watch it whenever you want, but I'll leave it up an hour. An hour, fine. Anyway, this is 365. We'll see you next week. Try not to die between now and then. Live what you made me do! Don't die, buddy, don't die.
Thanks for joining us this week for yet another episode of the Stomper podcast, featuring your host, Eugene S. Robinson. Follow Eugene's weekly newsletter, which is a soaring hit, over at eugenesrobinson.substack.com. If you're still hanging on to Twitter, he's there at Eugene S. Robinson. While you're at it, you can follow him on Insta at Mr. Sleep 3. That's the number 3. For more episodes of the show that seemingly never ends, go to showstopperpodcast.substack.com. Eventually, it will house all the Knuckle Up archives we can locate. We already have all the jiu-jitsu breakdowns for free. Check out Eugene on the Bad Boss Brief podcast, as well as the If the Shoes Fit podcast. Pick up his memoir, A Walk Across Dirty Water and Straight into Murderer's Row, today, and be sure to leave him a much appreciated, honest Amazon review. Hey, are you still there? I'm here too. This is me, June M. Williams, Eugene's producer. The show Stomper has been produced since 2015 by Original Designs, owned and operated by myself, June M. Williams. I provide Eugene with things like videography, original show graphics, motion graphics, show logos, podcast syndication, social media, and more. I can be reached at orijunels@gmail.com, which is spelled ORIJUNELS@gmail.com.